Hey guys, welcome back to yet another Shaving with Rich video. Today's video is a response to a question from one of my viewers on one of my other razor reviews. And that person is, I believe, from Russia, Moscow, Russia, Pavel Mironov. So this video, I did give you a very short response to your question and that you wrote in the video, just letting you know, hey, I'm gonna give you a better answer on camera, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, if I mispronounced your name, I apologize. I'm sorry. With that being said, I want to give justice to your question, which is definitely a good question. Do you like open or closed comb razors better? And that's such a subjective question. It's a very difficult question to answer. And how do you answer that question in just a couple? I mean, I could just say, you know, oh, I like open comb better, or I like closed comb better, but really doesn't help much. You know, it's just one person's opinion. And so this video is meant to kind of explain the differences. And so first I'm just going to show you, I look at razors kind of like cars. They come in all forms, from economy to sports cars to dragsters, muscle cars, demolition derby cars, vintage cars, futuristic cars. It's all there, from all over the world. Some cars are made, you know, in America. Some cars are made in Germany. Some cars are made in Italy, England, you name it. I mean, that's the way I look at razors. And every single razor is different. Even within their own classifications, they're different. And so it's very subjective. And not only is it just on that alone, but there's also how well do you know how to drive your or operate your car. What if you don't have what some people would say is the best car, but you just are so finely tuned in to that car that you know exactly how it corners, you know exactly when to, if it's a manual or whatever, you know, just when to downshift, when, you know, how to run that car right to the edge perfectly with what it was made to do. And maybe you can even actually surpass that just because you're an expert at that car. Razors are a lot the same way. And because all of us are different too, you can't just grab one razor and say, there's 5 blades on this cartridge razor, and that makes it better than everything else. That's why I think it's just funny that everybody's bought into that. And even I did for so many years. Now I'm starting to understand what shaving really is and seeing this whole other world. So I'm going to give an explanation about razors in this. And I'm not going to state to you what is my favorite. That's not the point on this video yet, to reveal which is my favorite razor or my favorites, but just to give you a better understanding of razors, so that when you make decisions in buying or choosing razors, that you can approach it from maybe a little bit improved point of understanding, I hope, at the very least. But this will prove to be definitely worth a watch. So the first, just to explain what for basics, what an open comb razor, the bottom plate, it's gonna, I'll try and hold this steady. You can see here that there's a bunch of openings right here. Okay, so that's called an open comb razor. I happen to have the double open comb razor made by Phoenix Arts and Accoutrements, which I bought it in chrome. It went out of stock It was out of stock for a while, and then it came back, and then as soon as it came back in, it was out of stock like that. So you can't get these right now until they come back in stock. But it was in matte when it came back. So this is the top comb, which you can see has these openings. So that made this a double open comb razor. So there's the top, here's the bottom. Now most people would think that have the impression that open comb razors generally are more aggressive, because where that blade sits, it sits closer to your skin because there's not a plate per se. Here's a good example. Here's a good example. This is the razor that I started out with, and that is, you know, a butterfly. This most everyone is pretty familiar with this type of razor. But if you look, this is a closed, there's no openings here. And then you've got just the blade you can see sitting right there. You can probably see the blade in there. Anyways, so this is a closed comb. There's the advantages to that, you know. So it's, if you don't have that opening, then, you know, that's one of those things that would determine how much access the blade has. The other element too is going to be the blade gap. This is something else you need to keep it in mind when you're going to purchase a razor, because not only is an open comb or a closed comb going to determine aggressiveness, this actually really appears to be a very aggressive razor, but it's very mild. It was designed mild, but it's kind of an awesome razor in its own right, because they take some of these elements and the benefits and they made it into a unique razor. So you have a unique razor experience. On the other end of the scale, the other way that you would determine on razors is their aggressiveness. Isn't just in whether it's an open comb or if it's a closed comb razor, but also the blade gap. How aggressive is it? Well, let's take a look for an example. You can see here, this is the Merkur Future, and it's an adjustable razor. So it can be adjusted to be from, you know, this is its lowest setting where the blade would sit right here. And it can be adjusted to have a blade gap like that. Something far more aggressive. Think of the gap that you have there. So some people call this a potato peeler because it can be that aggressive. Anyways, that's another element that you guys would have to take into consideration. Alright guys, so one last razor, actually two. I'm going to show you two. This is the Rockwell 6S, and stainless steel, and you can kind of see how this is the most aggressive plate that they have. See the blade gap on that. Anyways, 3-piece razor, and this is the number 6 setting. It's probably gonna look reversed to you guys, but they actually have the top plate right here, which I've got a Voskhod blade in it right now. Right now, that's my favorite blade that I found. Although I've found a lot of really good blades, right now Voskhod is my favorite blade. Not to say that I don't leave room to keep discovering blades. This is the bottom plate though, so you can see it's closed. There's no openings in it. But the cool thing about this razor is if you're new and you just want to buy one razor that lasts you forever and you want to start, they have 6 settings from 1 to 6. 1 being mild, 6 being the most aggressive, and there's three plates, and one side is going to be, you know, one aggressiveness. Flip it over, you have another one. That's how you get 6 different blade gaps set up on that razor, so that's good. The other way you can do it is, these are vintage razors. This is a Gillette Slim Adjustable, and this will adjust from the most the blade gap. Again, this is closed comb, but you can adjust the blade gap from 1 to 9. Right now it's on 1. Kind of get an idea of it, what it looks like on 1, and adjust it, and you can see how that blade gap just opened up quite aggressively. So that gives you the ability, see it go down? That gives you the ability to get different kinds of shaves. This one, just butterfly. You just drop your blade right here. It's got the center bar. That's an Astra SP blade. That's my second favorite blade on my top 5. If you guys watch that. Anyways, so to answer your question, it's very subjective. Everybody has different hair growth. Everyone shaves different. Some people need more aggressive. Their skin will take a more aggressive shave, and they like to shave with something that's more aggressive. Other people like a more mild shave, and so they will take more of a mild approach to it. There's also the weight of the razor itself. This is another one that's out of stock. It's the Sidewinder by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It's very weighty as well, just like the Future, and that adds its own element, cutting element as well. So this is a 2-piece. Just so you know, when you're looking at getting razors, I've shown you a 3-piece. I've shown you the adjustables. I've shown you the even the double open comb, but you can see I'm unscrewing by the bottom, the top plate. This is a 2-piece razor where the bottom plate is always connected here. The blade, you can see, sitting right there, and you simply just take the top off as you unscrew it enough, and then screw it back down. So these are the basic kinds of razors that you have to choose from. I definitely have far more closed comb razors than I do open comb, but there are benefits to both, and that's very subjective, and that's up to you to determine what's best for you. I still have plenty other razors that I have on my to-buy list that, as I'll be doing reviews. Probably my next is going to be a slant razor. I've got a couple that I'm thinking about. That's on my to-buy list, and I have some others as well. So that being said, take all those things into account, and there's people that can take literally a $2 razor. This is a razor that was given to me from my friend, and he ordered it. I think he paid $2 or $3 for it. It came from Turkey, and for $2 or $3, that'd be like your economy car. But if you learn how this gets familiar really well with this, you might be able to get fantastic shaves versus someone who gets a very expensive razor but doesn't even know jack about how to shave. They could get, this is the perfect example right here. They call this the potato peeler, like I mentioned. Well, it's more expensive. What if this is your first razor and you know nothing about DE shaving? You convert straight from a cartridge razor where you apply more pressure, and then you take one of these and apply more pressure, your face is gonna get all kinds of cut up. So it's not just in the car you drive, but it's also in how well do you know it, how well can you handle it, how familiar are you with it. So there's the razors, there's how you drive them, and they're all individually different. Every single one of them, you have to get to learn how to drive that different. And if there's anything that I've learned in all the razors that I have, and this isn't all the razors I have, these are just a few that I picked out to kind of show the differences. That's the one thing that I've learned. So take that into account, and I hope you learned something from this video that you can use in getting your next purchase when it comes to razors. And be sure to like the video if it's something that you definitely feel like you benefited from watching. Share the video if you'd like. Subscribe to Shaving with Rich for further videos. And I have a whole variety of videos, a whole variety, and lots of different playlists as well. So the next that's on my list is I've been getting a lot of requests to do a shaving series that's just educating people that are getting brand new, don't know the first thing about DE double edge shaving. So this is going to be the most basic. I'm going to make them very short increment videos and put them in a playlist so that anyone that's beginning can do it at their own pace and not have to drink out of the fire hose, but they can learn the basics from the ground up. So for people that are experienced, that playlist is not going to be really for you, but you're still free to watch it if you want. But that's what's coming up next on the Shaving with Rich channel. Thanks for watching.